How are you guys doing?
I'm pretty good. Oh, Woody's not good. What's wrong?
No, I'm good. Dude, I just finished reading about Kanye, and it's...
You didn't watch the video?
Yeah, you had to watch the video.
Yeah. I saw that. Well, there's the video, then there's all the analysis. Like, it's a long podcast to watch all of it. But
I didn't watch all of it.
The part where he said, "I like Hitler" is probably the highlight, right?
And the part right after that where he goes on this little rant. He's like, hey, there's people everywhere, and those certain people want to tell you that there's not good in everyone, a little good in everyone. Hitler, for example. because there's a part where Alex Jones is trying to save him, right? He goes, these people are trying to make it out like you're like Hitler or something. And he goes, well, hey, you know, like literally he gives it to him. Like they're trying to make it like you like Hitler or something. He goes, you know, I do like Hitler. I like his roads and bridges program. All right. Amazing. I like this and that. And it's like, dude, I'm glad you're wearing that mask.
Yeah, he's wearing like a gimp suit while he's
Here's
doing
my theory.
this.
Here's my new theory. It's one of two things. Binary here. It's either Kanye is an actual Nazi or someone has kidnapped one of his children or loved ones and they are holding him and they are making him say these things, because that's the only way they get you on a stage saying this crazy shit. He's saying stuff that's like, when he just randomly went, I like Hitler. It's like, whoa, why did you do that just now? Why did you just randomly pop off I like Hitler? Did you get a text from the kidnappers that says, just randomly say I like Hitler in the middle?
It's time to fulfill your end of the bargain.
First of all, stop calling me yay. God damn it, I hate that bullshit. Yes, I will say I like Hitler. Just don't cut off another finger.
I've never seen... Yay? No, it's
like in my funny bit, like they're making him change his name as well. I see. None of this craziness is on.
Have you ever seen Alex Jones get so out Alex Jones'd?
No,
I've never seen that, because I've seen Alex Jones talk about Nazis, and like he's like, these Nazis, they were liberals, people. They were leftist liberals. They were socialists. What are we? We hate socialism. These Nazis were socialists. And he was like trying to tear Kanye out of the Nazi shit, and the blasé attitude that Kanye is just like, actually, Hitler, did you know he invented highways and microphones? And it's like, the microphone I'm using right now as an artist. Yeah, the microphone I use as an artist. And it's like, okay, I knew the Autobahn thing with Hitler because that's like a bar night trivia where it's like, who was in charge of the Autobahn? It's like, we're going to get this. It was fucking Hitler. Yeah. I am so sure he had nothing to do with microphones. Like, there's no way.
I wouldn't think what was he talking about? Engineer, and also to say he invented highways. I mean, like, I don't know. He
put a highway in Germany.
No, that I can buy. Sure. But highways, were they not invented by like the Romans? Maybe, or like when does a road become a highway? I don't know.
If we start parsing this out, then we'll end up right next to Kanye defending Hitler, right? So there's no. I don't think if anyone's curious about how much Hitler was involved in the Autobahn, fucking Wikipedia that, because we here at PKA refuse to list any of the possibly, according to Ye, the things that were good about Hitler. We will not list those, or even look into whether there are any things.
And of course, there's my dumb ass with its like seeing politics and everything. The Republican Judiciary Committee deleted their tweet. It just said Kanye, Elon, and Trump. And that was it. That was the whole tweet. And they're like, yeah, we got to get rid of this one. These are no longer our heroes.
Oh, well, I mean,
is it like it should be like mental illness,
right?
Like, this December, the holidays are coming up. Mental illness. Check on your loved ones. Okay.
No. Did you see that photo of Kanye? He's like just sitting in some like Asian restaurant in like a strip mall after he like barged out of the Tim Pool interview, apparently. And it is so funny because there is like some woman there who's clearly a Kanye West fan, and she's like standing next to him smiling as he looks like miserable. Like he probably just took his gimp mask off, and like her face just lets you know she's the last person to know what's going on with Kanye right now. She saw Kanye in that restaurant and was like, The guy with the shoes and the music? Oh my God. Like,
I haven't thought about you in a couple of years. What's been up? Hey, are you still married to that beautiful Kim Carr? What was it?
Yeah, dude,
So
she's smiling like she's taking a picture with like Chris Pratt. Like, it's the Guardians of the Galaxy, man. Like, just no idea.
I want to talk about the Gimp mask. I don't know. Does he feel like a little secure and maybe like low level? I don't know how to say it. Just
plausible deniability. There's not plausible deniability, but implausible deniability is built into him wearing that mask, because he could always in the future be like, "That's a deep fake. That wasn't me. Look, it just wasn't. Look, it's not even my face. They're saying it. That doesn't even sound like it." I'll be honest. I had to listen close to make sure it was his voice, because I was like, if he's going off of the rails saying some Hitler shit and I can't see his face, I'm not 100,000. I'm not. They're great impersonators. Maybe that wasn't Kanye.
I've heard a couple theories. One of them is that the plausible deniability is going to pretend that wasn't him. Okay, that's one. I've also heard that he suffers from like really intense, aggressive cold sores sometimes, and maybe he just flat out fucking wanted to hide that, like, you know, didn't want to face the world. And then there's my own theory, which is he just feels a little protected behind it, and he's been exposed lately. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
projecting. I felt like that with the mask a little bit. Like I don't know. Like I could just walk in, like no one fucking knows me, no one can see me. I'm hiding in plain sight.
I'm sure he walked in with an entourage, probably a camera. But even if not, he is that guy being followed by security and like hanger-ons with a mask on.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. So, he's crazed.
Let me read this. Zach is posting
a pretty unhinged.
Kanye wrote or said, "Don't embarrass yourself trying to chase your dreams. Save face. Save face. That's why I got this effing mask on, because I ain't worried about saving face. Fuck my face," he told the crowd during the concert. "Fuck whatever my face is supposed to mean, and fuck whatever name Kanye is supposed to mean. It's all about my dreams. It ain't about anybody's dreams. It's about creating, not about the idea of being a fucking celebrity." Those are older quotes about masks. I don't know.
This man is unwell.
Here's the thing. Is Kanye going off the rails because he left Kim? Or on a related note, did Kim like keep him on rails all those years? Right?
I don't know anything about their relationship, but from like all the like political minded people like surrounding him now, he's like, I bet he has a ton of people whispering in his ear to say certain things, to not do this, do that. Oh, it'll be great for your cause to do this and say this, but really it's someone, you know, Milo or whoever it is, like trying to finagle something out of him.
What's the Russian term for useful idiot? You guys are going to know this. No,
I don't know. No,
there's a Russian term for useful idiot. Maybe Zach can help me. But anyway, it's this idea that, like, you know, the Russian government, their spy network, they find someone who's easily compromised and get him to do shit. I kind of feel like that's happening to Kanye now. Kanye maybe not as bright as the people around him, and fucking Nick Fuentes and Milo and who knows who else are using him as a tool. And they'll
Candace Owens, is she still getting him to buy Parler? That was like a week and a half ago, and it's totally out. Like now, that's not even in the top 5 Kanye things of the last couple months.
Like when someone like Candace Owens comes up, I've only been exposed to probably like the good sound bites and clips. I'm sure there's bad ones. I need to see the bad ones, because all I see is like really attractive lady who makes a lot of sense and like defends herself so well. She's like, "Oh, it's funny that you should characterize things that way, Senator, because," and then she'll start laying out this fucking case, and it's like 4 parts to her explanation. I'm like, there's no way she's not right. I don't know. I like her.
I really haven't watched much.
Is she one of the crazy ones, Woody? Like I don't know. Like, is she like
Kim Kardashian?
No. Candace Owens.
Candace Owens.
I'm sorry. I was looking up useful idiot. I got just stuck on it. No, well, Candace Owens, she used to be a Democrat. I think she's a bit of a grifter. Now she does the Republican thing. She's changed her views because that's where the money is.
That's cool.
She has strong conservative beliefs, but they're always like so thin. You know, she'll say, "My opinion is climate change is fake." And they're like, "Well, I mean, we've measured it. What do you think about this? Let's dive deep." No, that's as deep as it goes right there.
Yeah. I'm not feeling it. It's
I'm not vibing with this climate change. So
it's a gut thing.
See her as kind of a lightweight, but and this is my bias again, every time Republicans have a black supporter, they hold them up like they caught a fucking fish. Look, this one likes us. This one's on the Republican team. It can be Conde, it can be Candace, it doesn't matter. Every time there's a black Republican, they put them out front and center.
Well, yeah,
they often do that.
We want you to know that we're not racist, that we would love to have more black people in the party. And like one of the lies I see from the left so much.
We're so cool with black people. Look what he says. And we're still on.
Yeah. Like one of the lies I always see from the left is when they show like black guys with guns and they're like, this is the nightmare for the Republicans. And it's like, no, dude, we love seeing you guys with like AR-15s and shit. It's like, do you want to come with us and go shooting?
Yeah.
What kind of scope you got? Come on. like I promise you, if you want to make if you're a black guy who like wants to secure a friendship with some white people, because you know it's good to have black friends and white friends, and you know, friends outside your race, I should say. Man, guns is a great way to do it.
Yeah, there's who's the black gun guy?
Be friends with me.
he's from YouTube. There's a black gun guy, and this guy is not paper thin. He really
Colin
stuff. Colin? Is that his? You just said that like to get to fuck with me, right? Like a first name, like it could be right. There's a YouTuber who's pro-gun. He's a Second Amendment guy.
It's like Colin Noir or something, right?
Oh, you might be right. It is something like that. I'm sorry.
I didn't want to be disrespectful because I wasn't positive about what his whole name was. That's why I didn't lay the whole thing out. I didn't want to get the thing wrong because
anyway, he's a Republican, and the Republicans are all about him. Colin Noir. I'm sorry. I apologize, but yeah, that guy likes guns, and he's exactly what you're talking about. He's fully in with the Republican side. They love him.
Yeah, sure. Like, yeah, there's the idea that like I don't know any white people who hate people because of their skin color. I've never met one. I like maybe old ones who are just scum,
right?
You know, like that old guy sitting in the corner at a fucking like mechanic shop or you know, like the hardware store who's just like, I hate them all. And goes on these like weird rants about stuff that's not even accurate or true. But like I've never met like anyone who's like my age group or even like who's just like doesn't like the race of black people. That's a new one for me.
Most people are actually pretty nice. Like when you talk to them in real life. Like,
yeah. What happens is you get like upset at like a person, and then you boil him down to like whatever the most hurtful like simple version of him can be. You know, it's Xbox rules, and some people mistake that for systemic racism that comes down from the top or something. It's like, dude, I would have called you any number of things based on what you were. I just hate that you honked your fucking horn. I think that happens a lot, right? You know,
I'm sure.
Kanye is a different kind of racism, though. He's that hate racism that we need to single out because he's talking about Hitler in a good fucking way. I saw the edit of him like talking about Hitler, but it was interspliced with clips from American History X when Edward Norton's about to curb stomp that man, and the kid's going, no, like, don't do it.
That's like what Alex Jones was doing right before he teed off on Hitler. He's like, don't do it, Kanye.
It's like what all his fans are thinking too, because you know there's still some fans who were like, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of Kanye, but like, you know, there last week I was still under that what I would say here, like, man, it's got to be mental illness, right? Like, it's got to be mental illness, right? But now I'm starting to think like it's mental illness, and he's also a racist. It's both. I think it's both.
I don't know of a mental illness that makes you praise Hitler.
Yeah, come on, like schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, any number of
do awful things.
Like not that specifically. There's no he's got Hitler disease. Yeah.
Like mental illness has made people like kidnap hundreds of prostitutes and keep them in the basement.
He's got the Luftwaffe fever.
That's just horny.
That's just a guy who's horny. You're right. At least he's not anti-Semitic. Can you guys imagine like being in an interview and an easier softball than like thoughts on Hitler? You're just like, ayo, not good. Ayo, fire that back. Bad guy. Like, can you imagine fucking that up? Jesus Christ.
It's
Kanye's going to get really canceled. He
already has been kind of.
My dumbass thought he might come back for a long time. And people love his music, right? Like if you're talented enough, you can rape a person. right? Like, and they'll still listen to you. They'll still buy your songs.
Look, Kobe Bryant kept balling. They paint him like an angel on fucking billboards. You know, Michael Jackson, we all know what was up. Even if we don't think that he like actually went all the way, we know that something was not right several times with kids. Like he cuddled up on some kids, and even that ain't right. I don't like none of it. But damn, he can sing, and so it's all good. Kevin Spacey, I'm good with bringing him back 100% into the fold.
If Kevin Spacey had a Kanye West style meltdown on Alex Jones just like this, are you like, but you played him but you played Frank Underwood and Kaiser Sose so well? I guess we got
and American Beauty, when you were attracted to that underage girl, man, you sold it well. Is it well? Wasn't very hard to pretend to be attracted to an underage girl or boy.
Yeah.
or whatever kind of in-betweens they're doing these days. You know, he'd like go into a whole anti-trans, weird transphobic thing too. Like he'd offend as many people as possible, probably. Yeah. I hope he comes back. But yeah, you're right, Woody. If you're talented enough, like some major stuff can like go under the rug. If you can play ball, you can like cripple human beings and like hit people on highways, like drunk driving over and over, that John Jones shit. You know, there can be video of you beating your wife in a league where they just had like the Stop Beating Your Wife month or whatever. Yeah. And they'll be like, what, the Steelers next week? All right, 2 weeks from now, we're going to start your suspension, and it's going to be a long, good one until you play the Seahawks, of course, in week 7. Going to need you back for that. And it's like,
going to need you back. Hope you've learned your lesson by next
you suspended
Monday.
him for like a bye week and the game against the Falcons.
Yeah.
Like they have suspended him from the punt return team, and it's like he was never on the punt.
For as long as you play the Lions,
he can't use the concession stands here no more.
Yeah, unless he's hungry.
He plays here.
Is it Chris Brown? Like, did someone beat Rihanna or pee on a child or something? All
right,
that was R. Kelly.
Those are two different musical artists.
Mm-hmm.
I got to say, there aren't a lot of white musical artists that I hear about going off like this, but
maybe they're just sneaky.
They are sneaky. You're right.
Could be.
They're right.
It is.
Yeah, that's what it is. I really think that's what it is. like legitimately, like yeah, they're just sneakier. That's what it is.
It could be.
But R. Kelly's done. You talk about the peeing on people. Like I don't remember how many years he got. Yeah. He's like done. Like everybody turned their back on him. I saw like one of those YouTube shorts where I don't know who it was, like a 50-year-old like rapper R&B guy or something, but he was just like, you know, when he's your ninja for life, you know, and maybe he does some stuff you don't like. And they're like, yeah. And people are nodding along. I mean, then they get to this part and they're like, wait, maybe I don't nod at this part. You know, maybe he does some shit you don't like. So, you know, I wouldn't be down like that. You know, I don't do no stuff like that, but he's your ninja, you know? And some of them, they're kind of like, yeah, but he did pee on all those little girls.
Yeah, he did rapist. Do enticing a child. I see here exploitation of a child. Sexual exploitation of a child. 30 years. Mm-hmm. He will be eligible to get out in 2049.
Oh, just in time for the Super Bowl halftime show.
He'll be very old. Woody.
Yeah, Woody's been attacked.
He's been attacked. He's been canceled.
Just a second
for being okay with Kanye. Yeah, this is interesting. It's, you know what I think? I think that this Hitler stuff really hurts his chances of being elected president.
I really think so too. I think that Trump is probably thinking like, oh yeah, just keep like careening into the side rail there. Make sure you don't steal any votes from me, because God, there's nobody on my team that's like voting for the black guy who's literally saying I like Hitler, right? Like that. There's no Trump supporter who's that, right? Who would vote for
come on, you know there are pro-Nazi Trump supporters.
Not that would vote for a black man.
Oh yeah. All right. I'm sorry. I didn't.
It's a perfect storm.
Those Venn diagrams are two separate circles. They look like boobies.
Now we're amoebas, like stuck in the void. Those don't touch at all. The people who support Trump would vote for a man who supports Hitler, who is black. That doesn't exist. No, I mean maybe there's I
want to meet that guy.
That guy's like, I don't see color.
That's what it would be.
Yeah, he'd have to like be okay. I guess he would just have to be a full-on like anti-Semite, and that was his thing.
He would have to love Hitler.
Yeah,
like just to be like, all right, fine.
You know, I on the internet, you never know if you're being trolled or if it's like there's really this group of black Nazis. But I could have sworn that I saw some group of like black Nazis like years back, you know, and I thought it was some sort of internet oddity. I didn't know if it was like a joke or satire, or if there was like eight black guys out there who identified with the Nazi party. But I'm sure that those exist.
I'm sure. I mean, anything you can imagine, there's a Discord of people riled up about it.
It's fair.
Like any intersection, there's
the black Hebrew Israelites. Like, yeah. I could see them being yay supporters. 100%. He called him out. He he shouted him out.
Isn't that what Kanye sort of like believes? Where he's like, I'm Jewish. Black people are the Jewish people, and so he would kind of be a black Israelite. I don't actually know what they all believe, but I mean, black Israelite seems like that. It's the same kind of thing.
It's look. Here's my thing. I think that Kanye is going to hurt himself, and it's not going to be funny anymore, and that's a shame. Because
when you say hurt yourself, is that code for suicide?
Yeah. I think he's gonna. Because I think that he's just really in a goddamn spiral, and the spiral has been going for like a year and a half, and it's like the stuff that would tear down a normal human being, plus the stuff that we can't even imagine, like losing $1 billion and being blasted across the entire planet by
everyone,
trending on Twitter continuously about what a dumbass piece of shit racist scumbag you are. And feeling because of your mental illness that, like, I don't know, the Zionists are conspiring against you or whatever. Like, I can see him hurting himself. Yeah, it's a shame.
Well, I hope not.
I really think he's mentally ill. I think that, like,
I think most people believe that by now. Yeah.
Jesus.
It seems like it. It's very erratic behavior. I guess he's a history of like going off on things. Like he was known for that. It's just he's like gone from 1 to 10 now.
He's always been eccentric, you know. Like
I just don't know much about his past. Like I don't listen to his music. I don't know much about him up until this. When I hear his songs, I like it. Like it's catchy. Yeah. It's good.
A lot of older
reason people like
college,
it. But
College Dropout album is really fucking good. That came out like 04 maybe, sometime around there. Like so big. We love that shit. Over and over.
I saw this really old viral tweet. Do you remember that like reality show woman Tila Tequila?
Oh, 100%.
That was a fucking loon.
Yeah, I know everything about
She
Tila.
Came out in favor of empathetic to Hitler. And there's like a old tweet from like 2013, somebody being like, Tila Tequila straight up loving Hitler. Come on, not even Kanye would say that, like using him as the example of like.
He probably just went off on Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Around that time was when he went after Taylor Swift. Which
now that seems pretty cute now, doesn't it?
That is
right.
Tame.
Yeah, that seems pretty fucking tame.
No one seems on board with this idea that.
But first, I want to talk about the Jews.
No one seems on board with this idea that losing Kim is what set him off. That's what I think it is. You know, like Kyle mentioned, he has all these pressures on him, like normal people, but. Dude, they have kids together, right? And Kim and her whole family, and like he's just exiled from his social circle now, and that must be brutal.
I'm sure it is. Yeah,
I don't know which, you know, I think it might be a chicken and egg situation there, right? Because like maybe she left him because he's a mentally ill, crazy person, or she probably wouldn't leave him because he was like doing so well.
Yeah. So I agree, but I think that. Whatever, she left him because he was a 5 out of 10 crazy, and then he just finished the other 5.
For sure, like
you're right. Yeah, it could be that like he's been wanting to go off for a while, and then he was like, "Well, like, buckle up, everyone."
For a long time, she's like, "Honey,
buckle up, buckaroos.
You're being crazy," and he's like, "Oh, am I crazy? All right, thanks, Kim. Thanks for pulling me back down to earth." Now, without that, he's a helium balloon.
I bet this all started with a YouTube rabbit hole. Too like I bet this started with a YouTube rabbit hole and a late night and and here we are. Like I think that for real. He watched some of those YouTube propaganda videos and he got convinced and he didn't go on Quora. He didn't fucking like Google, is this for real or anything? Like he didn't make a phone call to like
Don't trust Quora. I have so many burner accounts I'm creating. One of my favorite hobbies is misinforming
Check
people.
Wikipedia. Good God, anything.
I didn't see your interview with him. Did he speak well? When I see Kanye speak, he doesn't flow with his points.
Yeah, he's pretty typical for rappers, I guess. He was pretty funny, though. He's got a good sense of comic time. Like the part that went most viral about that interview, I said, look, blacks are overrepresented in crime, right? But when I see a black person, I start from scratch, and I'm like, take you for who you are as an individual. Now, Jews may be overrepresented in media and leftism and this kind of stuff. But when you meet a Jew, do you start from scratch? And he goes, nope.
That was a good question, though. That was well phrased.
No, I believe he's being honest there. Then he's like, oh yeah, no, I hear they're Jewish. I got an immediate problem.
Yeah, like, at one point, like he wasn't able to see his kids back then, and at one point he goes, "I don't give a shit about my life. You think I care about Jews?"
Wait, he could use some messaging coaching.
Play it, Ryan.
Represented in violent crime. But when you meet an individual black person, you don't apply that. You start with a fresh slate every time you meet someone. Do you do that with Jews?
Nope.
Timing too, right?
Okay, that's very funny. Yeah, nope. Just wearing a GIMP mask, zipped up. Nope. No, I do not.
What's the mask motivation? Like, I get it in public.
Be himself with the mask and not worry about how he's perceived. I don't know. That's just what he said.
Can you say it again? I was talking over you.
Oh, sorry. He said, I can be myself with this mask on, and I don't worry about how I'm perceived. I can just be my true self because my face is hidden.
He knows we know it's him under the mask.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay. Maybe he shouldn't be vice president.
He's just comfortable in his
maybe
burqa.
Ambassador to somewhere, right?
Israel.
Like I'd like him to have some input.
Dude, I would be good with Kanye as ambassador to Israel.
Yeah, but he has to live in Jerusalem.
He's like, don't get me started on the amount of, I don't want to say it, problems around me.
You go visit him and he's just like, you believe this shit?
Yeah. I'm just saying there's a lot of people around me with robust stock portfolios. You know? Yeah, I haven't seen much of Kanye. The thing that like killed me more than anything was him talking to that reporter outside of like a pizza place or whatever, and like holding up the graph that shows like who owns different media organizations, and like all the Jewish names are like redded out like alarm, like and he's just holding that up, a phone from 3 feet. You can't see anything, but he's just found that graphic and he's stoked on it, and so he thinks everyone should see that graphic.
I thought you were going to talk about the time where he goes, I had a doctor or something? And he's like, I can't say who he was or what his affiliation was. But anyway, this guy wanted to sabotage me and put me away for questioning things. And that man tried to alter how I felt. He was Jewish.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to say what the affiliation of this doctor was. He was a Jewish doctor. Yeah, you can see, dude. That's like a fucking dude. The amount of pixels in that image he's showing has been so decayed from the thousands of 4chan reposts.
It's just a blob now.
Right.
He believes that he's telling the truth though, because why else like do such an unpopular thing? You know?
What do you think the psychology is behind showing off his wife like that?
I think of it as an art experiment.
Making him jealous, maybe, or maybe he's trying to make her a superstar, or maybe he's just flexing. I don't care because I get to look at her. His wife is bodacious. It's ridiculous.
I feel like he thinks he's stumbled upon a treasure trove of like information, and he's like, I can be the one who spreads this, making me important to the process. Like, because I mean, he does seem. On the wife, he's a rapper. He's a narcissist.
Remember 3 hours ago we were talking about 10s, and we were like, "Hey,
sure,
get this girl, right? Whatever is a changeable thing, and if you change nothing, that's what a 10 is." Kanye's wife might be that bullseye.
Oh, I'd change the hair first and foremost. She has my exact hairdo.
She does.
Does
hers
she?
Is blonde though? Yeah. Show us Kanye's wife. Somebody.
Yeah, but you both wear it well.
It's the same hair. It's a good haircut though. I'm gonna say that.
Good haircut.
I'm kind of into Gavin's hair.
You fuck her from behind. You're looking down at a 12-year-old boy.
But you see those enormous swinging titties.
I've never seen a 12-year-old boy with hangers like that.
Not from behind. You don't see those titties.
I bet you do see those from behind. I bet you see the side crescent around the side of that.
I genuinely don't mind the
torso.
haircut. I'm okay. I'm here for it.
I don't like it. She looks like a Pokemon trainer.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Yeah.
And you don't like that?
No, I don't.
I
would
your wife to be a bodacious Pokemon trainer.
She would look better if she had long, luscious hair, right?
I gotta take my third piss. How long is this fucking show?
It's a long time. We didn't know he'd be sticking around for the whole time.
Yeah, we thought you'd be here for 2 hours. We do 4 though. We do.
Okay, I gotta get out of here. I have a life to live.
That's fine.
Yeah, you're good. If you got to pop out, or if you just got to pee again, it's up to you.
Pee and then go live.
All right, go pee and go live.
Nah, Trump wins in 24. Kanye wins in 28.
Kanye would be a very young president.
I see him more of as a chancellor.
So you're saying 28 and 32?
Well, I'm going to have to explore more of his policies.
Sort of a Fuhrer Maximus type scenario.
I'm going to figure out what this guy's really all about. That's a funny person to be right now. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I want to know what you believe.
like the person completely oblivious to who Kanye West has become. Like, that graduation album, really good. What's he been up to since then?
Yeah, somebody sees him on the street and like they haven't caught up in like a decade, and they're like, "I said she a gold digger," and they just go. And he just goes, he looks back at him in a tear.
I saw this like wildly viral tweet with like 15,000, like hundreds of thousands of likes. It was a guy being like, "Damn, Kanye does something like this 50,000 more times, we're gonna have a problem." It's
Taylor,
just someone who clearly loves his music.
What's gonna happen to Kanye? Like 6 months from
what
now,
is going to happen to Kanye?
Is he deplatformed and we just don't hear about him anymore?
Yes, he just tweeted
he'll get deplatformed.
I don't know if Elon will deplatform him. Old Twitter would have, yes. Maybe Instagram, but he tweeted a photo of the Star of David combined with a swastika. All right, and
what does that mean?
I don't know. He tweeted like 2 hours ago.
What it means? You know what it means.
Yeah, you sound like a Jerry. A Rick would understand.
He's trying.
What does that mean?
I'm going to tell you who the real Nazis are. That's what it is.
Yes, because he sees himself as the real Jew.
That's right.
Is that right?
It's hard.
He said that.
You deplatform Milo, and suddenly you don't hear about Milo anymore. But Kanye's big.
You deplatform Alex, and you didn't hear about him. You deplatform Trump. Yes, you deplatform Trump, at least from a general perspective. I heard about him far less. I just did because it's not constantly being retweeted for satire or otherwise, and people not making secondary jokes on it and stuff. So I'm not saying that it means anything valuable. You might argue that it's not effective, but at the very least, like from my perspective, yeah, if you remove them from the social media sites I'm on, I see a lot less of them. So
Trump's a tough example because he also stopped being president of the United States. So that's going to make him less relevant and less repeated also. Shit.
Man,
has anyone at Kanye's level been deplatformed?
Oh my God. The clues
Trump's bigger than Kanye and he got deplatformed. That's the only person bigger than Kanye I can think of.
So that's a different time though. That was us at our most woke as a society. I think we're trending a little bit back the other way, at least in practice.
I think so.
And no, I think that he's going to have to go the sort of Louis C.K. monetization route. I think he will still be very successful.
Kanye?
Yeah, he's going to have a hard time, I think. I think he's going to be doing like festivals.
No, this is like I mean, this seems like the most well-uniformed like response to his. Like Kanye's been off the end for a while now, and there's been a lot of people who have solidly put him in the Chris Brown area where they're like, I'll still listen to his music, but like, God, I won't say it out loud, right? He is very much firmly in the like, oh, we can't touch him with 100-foot pole. Like you cannot, it doesn't matter if you can monetize the group of people that are happy about you saying you agree with Hitler. It is not in any way, shape, or form the same value of losing the Adidas sponsorship that he had or the whatever. Like, it's not saying that he can't make money off of it, but it's like if money or monetization was ever a factor in this, he just would have not said any of this.
Oh, sure. But going forward, the man's going to continue to be a recording artist, I would assume. And I don't know if there is a record label out there. He's going to have to I
will not say it. I would not say that. But like,
you'll carry him, right, Jericho?
Yeah, no, I think I got to steer clear of that one. I don't know.
Honestly, though, Kanye
he can put out music and people will listen. Yes,
of course.
What if he goes, here you go, Jericho. This is my next album. It's called White Skinhead Part 2. And here you go.
Part 2.
But yeah,
I'm gonna like Kanye, I'm offended by your French and I cannot handle it.
No, that's what it would be. It would be Part 2.
Part 2.
So much better. Yeah.
So you wouldn't sign Kanye for real, Jericho?
I want him to make a rap where he says something about au jus and a roast beef sandwich, but I would the fork off of it.
How about I would love to see a rap because he's like really into the Bible and everything now, and it's a music video, and he's like Moses.
Oh,
that would be so funny.
He's got
he's already done that Jesus. How much better? Like how much more?
Moses. Yeah.
Moses.
The thing about that Kyle's theory of going the Louis C.K. route, I'm not sure he has the infrastructure support. Like Patreon's not going to pick him up. He's been debanked.
He doesn't need
PayPal won't. You do have to process credit cards.
Thing. You need a CC processor. Okay,
wait,
now
he
that's
got
true.
debanked. What does that mean? So he has
that was his private like the bank he used. They were like, we don't want your accounts anymore.
It was JP Morgan, I think.
It was JP Morgan.
Oh,
like big major bank.
Gonna be really hard to go anti-Semitic and then keep like your
why is that?
What
do you mean?
Like, oh no.
Paspinka. You got it.
I was like, the third one.
You've been coaxed into a snap.
I invited you into the
No, I don't understand because like it seems like he just sells his music on his website.
He doesn't. He stands for infinitely more than music, and he has for so long.
Kyle's
not
trying
anymore.
to make his point about the new business model.
Sorry.
I think Kyle's saying the Louis C.K. route is open. He sells directly to the individual. What's up? And I'm like, you need a bank for that. You need a credit card.
I don't understand why that's an issue. Like why wouldn't a bank want money?
Wait, I don't understand the credit card processing. Did Visa and MasterCard say we're not going to take payment from you? Because that's way different than saying like, I don't think he's going to get picked up as a title sponsor of Visa and MasterCard.
So to answer your question, not yet. But his JP Morgan's already dropped him, and he had to find a new bank. I don't know if a new bank picked him up.
Banks in the world.
Yeah, and I guess I just heard he got debanked, and I'm like, I assume Wells Fargo doesn't want it.
Apple Pay wouldn't work. He was like, my Apple Pay wouldn't work for 4 hours. And it's like, well,
I just find it harder to believe
out of the bank.
You're not going to debank an individual when you're not going to are you going to disconnect him from Swift? If he's gonna have some way to process payments, but again, regardless of any of that, I still don't think that's the point of any of this. I sincerely have no idea what the fuck the point is because you're just he literally is lighting billions of dollars in every relationship he's ever had, family and otherwise, on fire. I don't really know what the
I said it before you got here, but my theory outside of mental illness, because here's the thing:
is there one outside of a mental illness?
Yes,
I feel like it's pretty.
He's clearly unwell.
I have one outside of mental illness and I say that because like if he truly wanted to let's just say he wanted to educate people about how those people are taking over, whatever it is he likes to say. He could have done that much better with $1.5 billion more in his pocket, quietly behind the scenes, funding groups who do that. And kept his mouth shut and kept the empire going, but he didn't do that. So maybe someone has someone he loves held hostage, and they are making him say these things. And I know that's crazy. Not as crazy as the things he's been saying, though.
All right, there is.
I like this theory. It's fun.
Kim Kardashian and the Kardashian cabal have held Ye's real family hostage in a cellar.
Look, I'm like, I've got your kid. I got your kid. You tell him. You tell him right now that you like Hitler, and he's just like, the fuck?
He's like, can I soften the blow a little bit and maybe say he invented highways and microphones?
They're like verbatim, motherfucker. You're a lyricist. Figure it out.
I want to hear 3 Hitler compliments by the time you're halfway through.
Comedy comes in threes, bitch.
Comedy comes in threes. That's so
like that explains it. It's like the pig fucking in that Black Mirror episode, right? It's like the only
it's
thing.
just so absurd that it has to be.
It has to be something equally absurd.
It's a solid theory.
You know,
like
we got this.
The best part about it is it's fun.
Kanye's a hero in this scenario.
If someone has his son held hostage, then yeah. I got a feeling that a big part of Kanye's audience is white people. Like I would say, I believe
Probably.
that 65-70% of his like money audience, people who pay to like get his shit, is white people, and then the rest is other people's. But he's turned off both groups now. I
think JP Morgan debanked him. Like
they dropped him
his
as well.
Yeezy banking away. Yeah,
I think he's got until the end of November to find a new bank.
Man.
Last week, I predicted that Kanye wouldn't get canceled. That, you know, he's just a special guy. Everyone looks at him through a different lens, and he can wear a White Lives Matter shirt. And they're like, yeah, it's just Kanye being Kanye, right? He says weird things.
Dropping the Jews directly into conversation was not a good move on his part.
I didn't. I saw that he tweeted that he was going to go after Jews. And I saw
never a good thing to say.
DEFCON 3?
DEFCON 3.
But I
said death, not deaf, which was also not great.
And then he was on Tucker Carlson, and Zach has the tweet. I'm going to read it. I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. Funny thing is, I actually can't be anti-Semitic because black people are actually Jew also. You guys have toyed with me and tried to blackball anyone who ever opposes your agenda.
Can I throw out a couple things about the terminology DEFCON 3? Okay, so first of all, he's a rapper. He's all about like changing the way words work, and he's a self-proclaimed genius. So I'm just going to assume that he knows that it's actually DEFCON, DEF. And I don't know what DEF. I bet it's an acronym or stands for something, maybe defensive posture or something. And anyway, any case, 3 is a lower thing than 1. DEFCON 1 is when we're launching nukes, I think. It's when like the world's about to end.
And 5 is the most chill. So for him to go to 3, he's kind of in the middle. It's like we're observing thing. I'm going to go mild on this tomorrow.
I'm going to give this some thought tomorrow, everyone. And you're right. Yeah, 3. What the hell?
It goes
not a very good number.
I'm pretty sure that 90% of the time that Kanye tweets something, he's not entirely sure what he's talking about. So
yeah.
Honestly, the fact that you said deaf and death, if he picked the number 3, he doesn't know any of that stuff.
See, that's where I am. I don't know because because
you'd either go 1. Or
you've
5.
heard his music though. He's capable of this kind of like lyrical like he could be making a pun there. Sure. He could be. Saying
I don't know much about
by
Kanye.
Going DEFCON because maybe saying death and con as in conning you out of something. Maybe he's trying to say something there. Like with between the lines, you're supposed to read into.
Is he playing 3D chess or not, or is he dumb? Or is he outsmarting?
The only thing he is good at is writing and like being a wordsmith. Like that's his thing. Like he sells those hideous clothes, those stupid fucking shoes, the like social media nonsense.
I do not like his clothes.
All of that is bad. The only thing he can do is write. And you're gonna tell me he doesn't know that it's DEFCON? I don't know. Maybe he's just an idiot, and I'm
could
wrong,
be.
But
I think you made an excellent point with the number 3 thing. If he was familiar with the term DEFCON, he would have gone like DEFCON 5. Time to start fact finding, or like, or you'd be like DEFCON 1. I'm gonna get real on Facebook Live tomorrow.
We going nuclear on Israelis tomorrow. DEFCON 1. Like if he said that, like. I'd have understood that he understood things, but I think he's actually mentally ill. I saw them on CNN. They were saying mental illness is no excuse for anti-Semitism. And I was like, isn't it?
Seems like it actually is, though.
I was caught off guard.
Did you see he was on Tucker Carlson's show and that they edited out the parts where he was crazy? So he and Tucker were talking. Anytime he hit a talking point that, say, Tucker's been hitting for years, they kept it in the show. Anytime he said something wackadoo that they wanted to, not portray him as a mentally ill, crazy person, they edited it out and it was left on the cutting room.
There was a part where he said something. He was like, how they, and you know what? I just said that, and they gonna interpret that a different way, and that ain't what I meant. Could we edit that out? And he was like, yeah, no problem. And then it's like, I'm reading this on the toilet. Y'all suck. like I feel bad for Kanye in that because if we're gonna have an interview where he's gonna be like, you know what, that came out wrong. That ain't what I mean. That's just what like fell out of my mouth right now, and can we take that out? If he took it out of the broadcast, but how does it get leaked? Because in that instance, I feel bad for him.
We don't edit this, but you can expand on this and explain what you really mean.
How did it get leaked though? Like he did edit it. It's not in the broadcast.
Well,
but I've got the transcript.
It's out
on my phone.
Yeah,
right. Fox leaked it. Same thing that went on with that punch at the basketball practice. Got leaked by an insider.
They still don't know how that's leaked.
I need to find the whatever staffer suddenly has a new Benz. Like, that's whoever's driving around in their new Mercedes-Benz TMZ money, because I'm sure they made a lot from that.
They're like, it must be. I think they got paid $170,000. Maybe Zach can fact check that.
Are you guys familiar with the second half of that tweet though? What he was talking about with like the black people are the real Jews thing?
Yeah,
with Kanye. No, I've heard
black
like
Hebrew Israelites thing.
Yeah. I've seen videos of the Hebrew Israelites. Very aggressive. They do not. They don't care for white people.
It's very like, and it's weird stuff that's rooted in like pseudo history and all that. I had a whole thing on TikTok earlier this year and late last year where I was arguing with this woman who claimed Rome didn't exist. And yeah, that's a conspiracy theory.
It's there today.
Yep. She claims that the city of Rome was built in 1515 AD or something like that.
Okay, well, she's just nonsense.
Oh, no, she's absolutely
You can go
insane.
back to like Charlemagne in like 800 and see that he's making his coins look like Roman coins because he wants to like stand up the old standards.
But
he wants
that's
to emulate the status quo.
This woman had 100,000 followers who like wholeheartedly every single one of her videos were like, thank you for preaching the truth. The world needs to, like, I'm sure there was some of them in there trolling, but for the most part, because she would delete any comment that did not agree with her. It was hilarious.
That's good. After the fall of Rome, those Germanic tribes kept putting Roman fucking faces on their coins for 100 years.
It makes no sense. But that kind of pseudo history and stuff, when people get deep enough into it and they don't have like the education to know it's wrong, or they assume that the reason you're after that person is because they're a woman, which was me. My case was apparently I'm sexist for calling you out on being batshit insane. But like that infects people's minds and they start to believe it. And if you're not constantly like shutting that shit down, and I'm not saying to censor it or make sure people aren't allowed to say it or whatever, but somebody's got to be out there being like, okay, fun fantasy story you've got there, but no. Otherwise, you get to things like Kanye West saying it's DEFCON 3 on Jews. Like, if you don't nip that in the bud, it becomes a very, very big problem.
Is the Black Israelite thing, or is it something different that like white people are demons, like not real people?
I mean, it all rolls into the same kind of like Black Hebrew Israelite, Hotep, like all of that different stuff. All does come from a Black supremacy standpoint. And any kind of racial supremacy, in my opinion, is just really fucking stupid because
sure,
people are people, and people have their things that they're good at and things that they're bad at. Somebody being Black is not going to make them bad at math. Like, that's kind of where I lean on. It's like, people are individuals. There's 7 billion of us.
I'm really interested in what evidence there being that Rome isn't there right just now.
There's no evidence. Oh no, she believes that Rome is currently there.
I can find a live feed.
Woody, haven't you been to Rome? Isn't that?
He believes he's been to Rome.
Yeah,
I saw it. It's there.
This lady was arguing that like half of Rome was constructed by Mussolini in the 1930s.
She's troll, man. She's a troll.
I wish
I
she
choose
was
to
just a
believe.
troll.
So I
insane.
think that smart people who are good at making arguments have a real problem with their time being wasted by two forms of people: the mentally ill and trolls. Okay, if you're a person who's capable of realizing that all of the many reasons why Rome existed, you're at least of average or above average intelligence, and that should be utilized elsewhere than disproving a mentally ill / troll. Because it's one of the other. No one with sound mind who's put any amount of like effort into studying the thing thinks Rome didn't fucking exist. That's crazy talk. That's silliness. That's
all it would take. All it would take is one example of them being like, hey, new evidence reveals Sparta not as old as previously thought. And then you'd have a million billion of this going around and the pyramids? Oh, I bet there is one for the pyramids.
The pyramids are older. All right, so I believe the pyramids are much older than we think they are.
Well, some of them, like the ones at Giza, were like thousands of years old by the time Cleopatra was a person.
Yeah, exactly. And they don't know. They don't even know who built the fucking Sphinx there. And I remember that thing from the History Channel before, when it used to be the History Channel, when they claimed there was water erosion at the base of the Sphinx.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like to believe that that's like much, much older. Like,
I don't like the way that the ancient Egyptians, they like dipped their toe in the Sphinx pool to try it out and then went back to pyramids. Like you found a better, cooler type of.
See, I think that was some older
monument.
people. I think that was some cooler people that came before them.
Yeah,
how illegal is that? That's another one of those. I saw a YouTube video the other day, and the whole premise was these are all I tried all those legal drugs you've heard about, and he's like chewing beetle bark. He's taking salvia. He's taking all sorts of different drugs. He did red cap mushroom tea, and it just. I knew those drugs were legal, but I didn't think that they were.
Are they any good?
Yeah, that's what the video was about. Varying degrees of either like
what
really
was the
good
most tempting one?
I didn't watch the whole video, but I watched the red cap tea part where he was. By the way, red cap mushrooms are deadly in the right quantity, but he was eating the right quantity and making a tea of it, and he seemed like he was super like relaxed. He compared it to
almost dying,
like Xanax. He said it was like a few Xanax. He said he was like really chilled out, and it helped with sleep. He said. Speaking
of nitrous, and we out of nowhere, we mentioned Milo on PKN, and then he came out and because he used to work with Kanye West, and he was saying that Kanye has a nitrous addiction that's being fueled by his dentist. Says that
I did see that picture of Kanye. He's got like the thing on his nose with like double hoses coming out of either side. He looked like the villain from Mad Max Fury Road. He looked like a Morton Joe. His
he does. Find a picture of that. Yeah, this is what Kanye or Milo said about Kanye, and it's next to this picture of Immortum Joe. There's a reason Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, is no longer capable of successfully releasing music or clothing. In fact, there are several reasons, but the most serious and the most recent is his dentist, Thomas Connolly. Connolly got Ye hooked on nitrous laughing gas. It is my belief that Connolly sought to diminish Ye's mental faculties so that Connolly and his business associates could extract millions of dollars from him. Earlier this year, I uncovered the fraud and intervened. Ye, hooked on nitrous, blew up our relationship on purpose by proposing something that he knew I'd have to resign over because I told him so. The resurrection of his longtime idle fantasy of making pornography. Thomas Connolly is a dangerous predator who targets African-American celebrities into whose mouth he puts fake diamonds, as I suspect he did to Lil Yachty. He must be stopped. I filed a complaint with the California Dental Board, the highest board, last week to that end. Yeah, the California Dentist Board has assured me that they've investigated themselves and they've found no wrongdoing.
I'm looking at that.
Zach, will you add that to our shop real quick? Give us one of those with the mask.
BPAP users catching strays over here. This isn't cool.
Yeah, everyone's making fun. You're like, well, I need it to breathe. I'm not doing drugs.
What are the odds we're thinking that this is real?
100%.
Well, it is Milo, so you don't know.
I saw the picture of Kanye with the mask. I saw a different picture than the one Zach showed that you could see the mask.
Oh, I was meaning about the whole like sinister dentist and all that. Like,
oh, of course. Well, of course he does. Like, where else would he? Yeah, that makes sense. No, I believe all of that.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he
Kanye West. Look, that is a picture of him.
There's no way. That's a white. It's a white eye underneath there. That's a woman, or he has the most svelte shoulders I've ever seen on a man. Look at the normal man behind.
Why would they have that picture there if that weren't Kanye?
Maybe that's the dentist.
Or if that's the dentist, he's a fucking super villain.
Yeah, if that's the dentist, I believe everything. Like, I think he's doing a lot more than what Milo's letting on. If that's the dentist, but yeah, I guess. No,
I believe that 100%. Why not?
Yeah, Milo Yiannopoulos wouldn't just.
Why wouldn't that be true
on the internet?
He wouldn't just make things up online. But I don't know. Kanye, he's gone out there a few times, and this is an out there drug for a guy in his 40s to pick up.
I would like to think everything he said was said in his right mind.
100%. When he was showing 4chan graphs to people like on the news, that was very fun. I wish he would have kept doing that. That was so fun. Just they're trying to get him to talk about his new album, and he's like, I bet you would want to know you're Jewish, and like just accusing anyone and everyone, like a black guy, of being Jewish. That's his idea of who's behind.
I'm not gonna say what kind of doctor it was.
Yeah,
It was a Jewish doctor.
It was a Jewish doctor, and the way he says that with like the hammer drop.
Obviously,
like,
I feel bad. Like he's obviously having like a fucking mental health episode, but the memes
Seems
were
like
fucking great.
Yeah, it was funny.
True and true.
Like it was good to have him going off for a bit.
You know, if you don't make use of the memes, then he went through all of that for nothing.
That's true. That's very true.
Oh wait,
terrified.
What if he's doing this to get ahead of some nefarious thing? What if Kanye West is in Epstein's black book? What exactly is he distracting from? No, I don't. But I don't know.
Like one thing at a time. They'll forgive one. Okay, like we were saying this earlier. Like you can beat a girl up, you can mate. You can do any number of
talented
things
enough.
if you're talented enough.
But
But
you
he's
get
gone,
$250 million and you play
though.
for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah,
If you're
exactly.
good at football, you can get away with a ton.
You can't do what Kanye did though.
Wait, who are you talking about, Jared?
Deshaun Watson and his 24 accused sexual assault victims.
Who's the guy that like had his
24.
driver kill somebody?
Rookie
for him?
numbers.
Like
Someone had their driver assassinate someone for them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like an NFL player like either had their driver take somebody out.
Aaron
Oh, shit.
Hernandez, the
That's-
Patriots player. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh man, his story
Definitely-
sad. You know the whole
one of-
story.
yeah.
No, it's sympathetic to Aaron Hernandez.
It's not sympathetic, but it's like kind of fucked up, right? Like he got found out as like gay once he was in prison, and then this radio, everybody kept it quiet. They were like, "This isn't like people are dead. Like we're not going to make gay jokes." And then this one radio DJ was making all these like tight end jokes and and like it got out.
This
and,
one guy storming that beach.
dude, he committed suicide the next day. Was
I
it?
thought he was still in prison.
He killed himself.
I didn't follow the story.
That's not even his first murder.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It turned out, and the person he killed, it was over some petty shit. It was like, dude, you're in the NFL. Why are you even amongst these people?
I mean, the CTE stuff is like currently. Antonio Brown is like the cool, like poster child. Got to be the worst optics for an NFL oriented player, and since Aaron Hernandez or Tyreek Hill beat his wife, or name another one.
Mm-hmm.
But like
Chris Jericho.
literally, what?
Chris Jericho.
No, we don't talk. No, whoa. NFL, and
Yeah, NFL.
and it's just like
Chris
yeah, it's wild because you're looking at like all of the things that happen within the NFL and all the things that they're okay with forgiving, and really there is no limit. Like the Deshaun Watson stuff was front and center and with like sexual assault and stuff, and they're like, oh, gets half a season for suspension.